The Korean War lasted 3 years, from 1950 to 1953. It began with the border between North and South Korea marked here along the 38th parallel, a circle of latitude 38 degrees north of the equator, and ended in exactly the same place. Between 3 and 4 million had died, the North obliterated by carpet bombing, including with napalm. Countless atrocities, mass killings and torture. So why did the US get involved? Following the Second World War, Korea was politically divided. It was reeling from over 30 years of imperialist Japanese rule, during which time, in the popular imagination at least, Korean communist forces distinguished themselves in resisting the Japanese invasion, whereas right-wing nationalists, divided, ineffective, and often in outright collaboration with the Japanese, had not. The major forces in the region, the USSR and the United States, had agreed to split the country along the 38th parallel and establish spheres of influence in both North and South respectively, much like they had done in post-war Europe. And just like in Europe, the superpowers entrenched their own sense of paranoia and mistrust. The United States wished foremost to protect its political, military and economic presence in Japan. The loss of the entire Korean peninsula would jeopardize this vital foothold, and it was communism they wished foremost to protect it against. The West imagined communism's advance across the Far East as a series of falling dominoes. Stalin had blockaded Berlin, had just detonated the first Soviet atomic bomb, and China itself had fallen to communist forces in 1949. By 1950 then, the pieces fell on Korea. The communist victory in China had released many tens of thousands of Korean volunteers that had fought for Mao Zedong's communist forces back into the country. They brought with them tactical know-how, optimism, and weapons. Simultaneously, the North Korean government under Kim Il-sung began to sponsor clandestine communist insurgencies in the south. It was hoped that this might capitalize on the left-leaning, anti-government political opinion already present there. There were not minor skirmishes either. Several significant uprisings and rebellions in the south, the subsequent government crackdowns, as well as the battalion-sized military engagements along the official border, were beginning to leave several thousands dead. Indeed, an entire generation had come of age amidst the violence and bloodshed, a foreign invasion, and political rebellion. The Korean peninsula was a land in turmoil, girded tight by an artificial border and political system in both north and south that could not counter the intense violence that trembled beneath. Both sides grew overconfident. Kim Il-sung believed his communist insurgencies had fatally weakened an already unpopular autocratic government in the south. The Chinese authorities wished to create a buffer between them and US-controlled reactionary forces. And Stalin had managed to convince himself that the US would not intervene if the peninsula became communist. For their part, US forces boasted that an invasion by the North Koreans would merely provide target practice for the South's troops. It was a twin miscalculation that was to end in bloodshed.